Cold email is about to change forever, and the uncomfortable reality is that most people aren't ready for this. It doesn't matter if you run a small, medium, or big business, everyone is going to be affected by this. I can confidently say that because I've been in the cold email space for over 5 years and I've been using it to scale businesses to over 100K a month. The good news is if you take action on these changes now, you will outperform your competitors and win in your market. So in this video, I'm going to reveal 5 shifts that are happening right now in cold email that you need to succeed in the new era of cold email. I break down the current shifts and the ones that I see coming, as well as the strategies that you can implement right now. The first one is that deliverability will collapse for more than 90% of cold emailers. In February 2024, Google released their new protection for a less spammy and safer inbox. Ever since then, they kept pushing out new measures to reduce spam, including using their AI models to improve their filtering. And just a few months ago, Microsoft, so Outlook, pushed out new measures for a more strict unsubscribe rule and also requiring senders to have a more advanced setup. This means that it will keep getting harder to actually land in the inbox. And considering that it becomes easier and easier to actually set up inboxes, because also AI will be able to handle it quite easily, the competition will only increase from here. Best way to stay on top of things is that you actually master your tool stack and the infrastructure for your cold emails. While it might get easier to create these mailboxes, most still rely on bad tools, and these won't work, thus making people demotivated quite quickly. Because no matter how good their offer is or their copy, without good infrastructure, the email won't land in the inbox, so you won't have any success in actually reaching these people. We can compare cold emailing to a slingshot actually, because the slingshot is the infrastructure and the offer is basically the ammunition that you give to the slingshot. And the two arms of the slingshot are your infrastructure. So this is basically what holds everything together. And if it's shaky, it doesn't matter how hard you pull and how good your offer is, your whole shot will collapse. This is why it's super important to use the right tools. I've used a lot of different tools, and what I can recommend is for the domains and the inboxes, Zapmail or Hypertide, and for the outreach tools, you can use tools like Instantly, Smartlead, Salesforce, or Sales Handy. Everything becomes more crowded. As we said, more and more people are entering the space due to the seemingly low barriers of entry, so more cold emails will be sent. This is why it becomes super important to play it smart and not go in the red ocean where everyone else is. We need to go to the blue ocean, a place where the competition is low, but at the same time, the same demand exists. So these untouched leads are the leads where your competitors and most likely yourself don't have the email address for. And these leads are often way easier to close because they don't have these inherent objections to cold emailing. Often they also have less advanced spam filters because their inbox isn't getting flooded by these cold emailers every day. They're also less solution aware, meaning they most likely know about the problem that they have, but they do not know the solutions that exist for them. So you need to ask yourself, how are my competitors finding leads and how can I be different from that? Let's assume this is your TAM. So these are all the leads that you think are potentially interested in becoming a customer of yours. So this is 100% of the people, but the problem now is with the legacy providers, so the providers that most likely all of your competitors are using, only 70% of emails are being found for these people in your market. So no matter if your competitors are using tools like Lucia, Apollo, or ZoomInfo, at least 30% of the market is always untouched. This part, in this case, the 30% are the untouched leads. So these leads are in the blue ocean. And the good thing is you don't need crazy workflows or anything like that to find these 30% of your market, which your competitors can't reach out to. Let's assume, which is most likely the case, your competitors are using Apollo. Apollo is a big database with a lot of data, but still they have a lot of missing data, especially email addresses. So let's just go to the people tab and build our lead list. I've already added some filters here. So these are the people that we can potentially reach out to in our market. Scrolling down, you can see that a lot of these leads actually don't have an email, and your competitors, and most likely including yourself, you will just disregard them because you cannot reach out to them, right? So these are the untouched leads, and the way to find their email addresses is using tools like Better Contact. Better Contact actually aggregates every relevant email finder on the market and also those which are infrequently used or not even accessible at all to most people. So they can find the emails that all of these legacy providers can find because they're leveraging sources which they don't. And to try that out live, you can just go to bettercontact.rocks, create a free account, you get free credits and don't need a credit card whatsoever. After you've created your account, let's go back to Apollo and look for leads where Apollo doesn't have an email and see if Better Contact can actually find a valid one. Let's take this person. So we're going to click on the profile. We're going to just copy out the name. So we're going to do that. We're going to look for the email here in Better Contact. We can just copy paste that. This is of course very manual, right? But the best way is to just export large lists from Apollo where Apollo didn't find an email and then just upload this as a list inside Better Contact. What we're going to do now is we're going to look for the domain of the company the person is working at. So we're going to click here on the company name. We can easily find the company domain and we'll just copy and paste it inside Better Contact. Why this contact enriches and Better Contact requests all of these email finders and data sources and verifies the email, we can take another example. Let's just take this person. So we're going to click on the profile and then again copy out that name and paste it into Better Contact. And again, we're going to look for the domain of the company that person is working at. So we can go back here and then we can click here on the company the person works at and we will again copy out the domain. As you can see, both emails have been found and they're triple verified, so we can be sure that these emails are actually correct and also land in the inbox. A year ago, receiving a well-personalized email with relevant company and person level data has been grabbing the attention of the recipients. And sometimes it still does, but by next year, due to the power of AI, this most likely won't be a nice to have anymore, but a must have grab the attention of the reader. Because personalizing in a relevant way just won't be enough anymore because everyone will be doing it. So now it's all about how you present your value. While it's true that everyone will most likely be personalizing in a very good way, there is still a big potential in using triggers and custom variables. If you really dig deep into it, you can still create this wow effect for your reader. Let's take a few examples. The first one is that the company that the person that you're reaching out to just created a new site translation for their website. Let's say they added a German translation of their website, which most likely means they are planning to expand into the German market, and you can leverage that for your outreach. Another interesting and unique signal is that they removed the pricing from their webpage. This makes it very likely that they are moving up market, so they need sellers for the mid-market and enterprise level if they don't have them already. And of course, you need to keep them relevant to your offer. And now the most important thing is to find the right variable and the right signal for that specific person and company and position it in the right angle. If you're wondering which triggers and signals are making an email stand out these days, I've put together a free resource which breaks it all down. It's a list of customer winning signals which top salespeople are using right now to cut through the noise. I will also put a recommendation of tools that you can use to grab these signals, and I put it in the description and you can grab it right now. The fourth shift, which is going to intensify even more, is that the one with the most conditionalist value upfront is going to win. But not just any value, conditionalist value, which basically means that you do not expect anything in return from the person that you sent the email to, not even a phone number. This means it should be a genuine offer without any strings attached. So for example, you shouldn't push the person to book a call in order to get this free value. Because this allows you to build trust, and trust, especially in these crowded inboxes, is the new differentiator. What is working great today are personalized analyses or, for example, walkthroughs using Loom video. They can be especially effective for high ticket offers, but at the other hand, they're also pretty time intensive. A great alternative is actually automating the creation of value-packed lead magnets. With tools like NNN or Zapier, they can be individualized at scale without a lot of effort from your side. The fifth big shift is that speed is becoming more and more important. The market is shifting more towards the first come, first serve model. Because we're heading into a future where millions of AI agents are scraping social media and other platforms in real time for intent signal. This includes forums, podcasts, or social media platforms like Reddit, LinkedIn, or Twitter. And the one who is among the first to reach out within minutes and not days will most likely win the deal. So as mentioned before, you need to have solid systems and infrastructure that monitor the relevant forums and social media for your ICP. And the best way to do so and getting good at it is familiarizing yourself with tools like NNN, Make, and Zapier. If you want to have it a bit easier but less customizable, but also are willing to pay a premium for it, you can look at tools like Clay or Genesee AI. These are spreadsheet-like solutions which allow you to easily set up these workflows and also monitoring of these signals and triggers, and then reach out within minutes. If you want to prepare for these shifts, one of the most important things is to actually create a lead generation agent that handles most of this for you. And if you have no clue where to start, I got you, because I recorded myself setting up such an AI agent step by step. To check out the video, you can click right here. And even if you have never worked with something like N8N, you do not have to worry, because I shared the exact template that you can just download and then use it for yourself. See you over there.